Owning a home used to be the foundation of the American dream, something within reach for those who worked hard and saved diligently. But in today's market, that dream is slipping away. Since 2016, the price of an average single-family home in America has soared by 77%, climbing from $202,000 to nearly $358,000, according to Zillow's Home Value Index. What was once a reasonable milestone for middle-class families has now become an overwhelming financial burden. And as if soaring home prices weren't enough, interest rates have more than doubled, turning what was once an affordable mortgage into a crushing monthly payment. Let's put this into perspective. A few years ago, a 3.5% mortgage on a moderately priced home meant a monthly payment of under $1,000. Fast forward to today, where rates hover around 7%, and that payment has ballooned to nearly $2,340 per month. This isn't just a housing issue, it's a societal shift. The ability to buy a home is no longer just about good financial habits. It's about who your parents are and whether they can help. Many young Americans find themselves stuck, realizing that without family wealth or a six-figure income, home ownership is increasingly out of reach. But what does the best investor of our generation think? Of course, we are talking about Warren Buffett. But before we hear from him, if you can please like this video and subscribe, it really helps our channel. Who can actually afford a home today? Let's crunch the numbers. Using Dave Ramsey's home affordability guidelines, the median-priced home at $357,000 requires a $71,000 down payment, a take-home income of around $12,000 per month. To put that in perspective, only about 5% of American households earn that kind of money. Narrow it down to the typical home buying age, and that number shrinks to just 3%. This means home ownership is now largely reserved for doctors, high-powered attorneys, executives, and, most importantly, people with wealthy parents. The idea that hard work alone will get you there, that's quickly becoming a myth. Will the market crash like 2008? Many frustrated buyers are wondering, is a market crash coming? Should you wait for prices to fall? The last major housing collapse in 2008 sent prices in some areas, like Las Vegas, plummeting by over 60%. It was a painful time, but it also created an opportunity for young families to buy homes at deeply discounted prices. Now, people are asking, could history repeat itself? To answer that, let's turn to Warren Buffett. Though he rarely comments on real estate, he shared some critical insights back in 2002, when the housing market was facing similar concerns. Buffett said, "Well, it would go like all our other conversations. He would say no for about 15 minutes, and I would gauge by the degree to which he emotion. He put into his notes whether he really liked the deal or not. But we've both had a fair amount of experience in real estate, and Charlie made his early money in real estate. The second point is the more important point. It's that real estate is not a commodity, but I think it tends to be more accurately priced. Really developed real estate, more accurately priced most of the time. During the RTC period, when you had huge amounts of transactions and you had an owner that didn't want to be an owner in a very big way and they didn't know what the hell they owned and all that sort of thing. I mean, you had a lot of mispricing then, and I know a few people in this room that made a lot of money off of that. But under most conditions, it's hard to find real estate that's really mispriced. But occasionally, there could be big opportunities in the field. But if they exist, it will certainly be because there's probably a lot of chaos in real estate financing, for one reason or another. We've done some real estate financing, and you have to have the money shut off to quite a degree probably to get any big mispricing. You know, that kind of thing could conceivably happen, but it's unlikely. Buffett's key point? Real estate is not like stocks. Unlike stocks, which can be wildly mispriced, real estate tends to be accurately valued most of the time. The only time we see significant price drops is when financing dries up. This is exactly what happened in 2008. Banks stopped handing out risky loans, and as a result, home values collapsed. Why today's market is different? If we look at recent mortgage data, it's clear that financing has tightened. In 2021, banks approved $1.2 trillion in mortgages. By 2023, that number had dropped by over 50%. But unlike in 2008, home prices didn't crash. Why? Because banks haven't returned to reckless lending. In the early 2000s, almost anyone could qualify for a mortgage, even people with bad credit and no savings. When that bubble burst, millions defaulted, triggering a financial meltdown. But today's lending standards are much stricter. Even as fewer mortgages are being issued, the ones that are approved go to financially stable buyers, keeping foreclosure rates low and propping up home values. If you're holding out for a massive crash, you might be waiting forever. Unlike in 2008, we're not seeing widespread bad loans or reckless speculation. Even if home prices were to drop by 28%, the same decline we saw in 2008, they would still sit well above pre-2020 levels. The hard truth? A major price collapse is unlikely. If you're hoping to buy a home at 2015 prices, the market may never return to that reality. What's the situation like in your city? Are prices still climbing, or are you seeing signs of a slowdown? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching.